So nature has warned us several times in the form of disasters, in the form of calamities, in the form of several other diseases, but we have never taken care. If we would have taken care, then we have not seen this present pandemic situation, which has made whole world in big shock. We cannot blame anybody else. We ourselves are responsible for what happened. Now you ask me to speak about view of Ayurveda on this. Why Ayurveda? Why we need Ayurveda? Usual answers would be, whenever we ask somebody that why Ayurveda or this, then usual answers that we say conventional medicine is highly advanced but not adequate, or we say conventional medicine is not successful, or we say that measures in conventional medicine are expensive, and then our usual claim is that Ayurveda is safe and effective. But I don't say this. I don't say that conventional medicine is not effective. For me, we need Ayurveda because this is first knowledge system which has described about epidemics. This knowledge was available with Ayurveda since millennia. It describes the process of the happening, how does it happen, and also measures to get rid of it. It describes the fundamental etiopathogenesis, not the intermediate one. For Ayurveda, fundamental etiology is not this virus. Virus may be an intermediate factor, but fundamental etiopathogenesis is something different. Ayurveda has its holistic approach and it believes in ultimate solutions, not temporary solutions, not some intermediate solutions. And friends, what happens sometimes, that key is in our pocket and we search it elsewhere. Often we are so overloaded with the information that we ignore the small things which may be very effective. Now, we often see that we get a problem, then we find some solution of it. Now, after that we get another big problem, for that we find another solution, and then the bigger problem comes, we try to find another solution. For example, earlier we had some other viral diseases, even corona related diseases we had. We found solution of them, we got rid of them, but now we have bigger problems related to virus. Why and how it happens that problems we get solution, and again we have the problems again. We try to manage one type of virus and another type of virus comes. To understand this, again I tell you a story. You might have heard it. But this story gives us big lesson. Long back there was a cave seller, Mr. John. In those days there was no mean of transportation. For any business trip one has to go by feet. One day John was on his business trip, carrying his caps in bag. On the way he felt tired, so naturally he lied down under a tree and kept his bag on the side. The trees around that tree were the habitats of monkeys. So monkeys, when they saw this bag, they jumped there and they have taken this cap out and played with them. When John woke up, he saw bag is empty. He was shocked. And he tried to scarify the monkeys with the stick or stones, but there was no response. Then a wise man came there. He told John, in this way you will not succeed. If you want to get your caps back, then there is only one way. That monkeys have a habit to mimic. So if you throw your cap also on ground, the monkeys will also imitate it and they will also throw the caps and then you can get the caps back. John did it. He succeeded. He got all his caps back. Now time passed. John died. His son, who was now young, taken over the business. And in the same way, he was also on business trip. And like his father, one day, when he was on business trip, he lay down under a tree and slept. Same way, monkeys came there, took away the caps. Because these young men knew the history, he learned from his father. What did he do? He threw his cap and he expected that monkeys will also throw the caps. But he surprised that one monkey jumped from the tree and took this cap again. He was shocked because he did not expect. The story was different. Then this monkey who took the cap away, he told, "Hello gentlemen, if you had a father, we also had a father. If he told you the story, our father also told us a story." Friends, same thing happens here. If we try to kill any organism, whether bacteria, virus or anything, what happens that we invent some measure to kill them. Before dying, they give this message to their next generation that this clever human being has created some measure to kill us. Please be careful. So in next generation, they make some changes in their bodies so that your usual measures cannot work. This present coronavirus is not new one. But if we found some solution in the past, now the same corona has made some changes in its structure that the old measures will not work. And same thing will repeat again. If we will find any solution, then they will change themselves again. So friends, Ayurvedic approach is not microbe oriented, remember. Often people ask me, is Ayurveda has any antiviral, any antibacterial? I say Ayurveda does not have anything antimicrobial because Ayurveda is science of life. It cannot do anything against any life. Its concern is not only human life. Its concern is life as a whole. So, how we can expect that Ayurveda should have some antibacterial, antimicrobial? Ayurveda has different approach, and that approach is person oriented. And here, friends, we forget the gentleman Louis Pasteur, who is known as father of microbiology. There is one famous quotation from him that germ is not important, body is important. And if you have rocky soil, no seed can grow in it. And friends, this quotation first time I read in IPGT and RA Jamnagar when I went there for my MD. વૈષ્ણવ સાહેબ ખ્યાલ હશે દ્રવિડકુંડની બાજુમાં એક બોર્ડ હતું. So the father of microbiology who discovered the microbes first time, he himself told that these are not important. Important is your own body. No seed can grow in the rocky soil. Now there are some interesting information. You may be already knowing it, but that this word virus has its origin from our Sanskrit word Visha. This same Visha, again for your information, if you do not know, that old Persian language, which was also known as Avestan, had so many common words in Sanskrit and Avestan. So in Avestan language it become Visha again with little different pronunciation. And in Greek it become Ios. And in Latin the Visha become virus. Visha, virus. And from this virus the word which we very commonly use, virulent. Virulent does not mean anything different than poisonous. Virulent original meaning is poisonous. So word virus or virus had its origin in Visha. And this word corona, it came from because it looks like solar corona. Also corona means the crown. So both the possibilities are there, but originally the name was from solar corona. So what I will speak now is based on our classics and my observations on the incidences which we observe day to day, prevalences, country-wise, region-wise, people's reactions towards it, and the claims made by the people that this is good, this is good, this is good. And also discussion with some of my scientist friends. I am not expert of this pandemic, but I try to analyze the situation on this basis. As you all know that in Charak Samhita, in Vimanasthan chapter 3, they have very nicely described its etiopathogenesis. And they have mentioned there the mool, the original cause is adharma. Now remember, adharma for me is not something religious or related to religion. My simple understanding with adharma is to have unethical practices and our behavior, if it is against the nature's laws, then it is adharma. If somebody does not go to temple or church or to mosque, that is not adharma for me. For adharma, I am very clear that unethical practices and breaking the nature's laws. If you act anything which is not matching with nature's laws, if you do this individually, then you will suffer. If you do it in mass, then you will suffer in mass. And why we have adharma, why do we practice unethically? Because of prajna aparadha. Prajna is our intelligence, through which we decide something, that this is good, this is bad. This is to be done, this is not to be done. This is right, this is wrong. And aparadha means it's faulty application. So when we do mistake in application of our own prajna, our intelligence, our decisive faculty, then we commit this type of adharma activities. The adharma then result into abhishapa, which we can understand as curse. And then avichara. Avichara, for simple understanding, you can say like a tantric procedures or black magic, or to create some harmful creatures to harm somebody. And through avichara, one can produce kratya and rakshagana. What are these? This avichara and producing this kratya, etc. In modern context, we can interpret this as experimentally or accidentally produced microbes. As usually people believe that this present virus is produced in some laboratory. I do not verify it that whether it is true or false, but it is usual feeling. Maybe it is not intentionally, but maybe accidentally. So accidentally or intentionally producing microbes. This is avichara. And then same this adharma cause another thing, that the environment of the whole universe is changed. And that result into devata vir api tyajate. That means devatas go away from us. What does it mean? That we lose the support of pro-human natural forces. Here this word devata we have to understand more clearly. Usual meaning of devata is deity. But I understand this also in very logical way. Devata means the natural forces, those are only giving to us, not taking anything from us. So all natural forces like sun, water, wind, they all are devatas. They all favor us. But because if we have adharma, then they stop favoring us. This is one thing. Another my understanding about devata is that the creatures of whole universe we can classify in three categories. One is human beings. Those are always in center. Because Mahabharata says that human beings are best creature of the universe. Then another category is the creatures, those are in favor of human beings. We put them in the category of devas, devatas, rishis. And another category, those are against human beings. We put them in the category of rakshasas, asuras, pisachas, etc. So human beings, pro-humans, and anti-human creatures. There is one interruption. Sorry, I will solve it in 1 minute. There is problem. શરૂઆતથી જ કરી દઉં છું. કંઈ વાંધો નહીં. Sorry friends, few seconds only. ત્યાં લો કઈ. Sorry for the interruption. It happens sometimes. वो स्वामी जी कुछ है ना ऐसा बहुविज्ञानी, शुभ कार्येषु बहुविज्ञानी. Yeah. So for Devata, if we classify the creatures of whole universe in three categories, Devatas are the creatures or the forces, those are pro-human beings, favorable to human beings. And the creatures, those are against human beings, we put them in the category of Rakshasas, Asuras, Pisachas. So all these harmful bacteria, viruses, etc., they will all fall in that category. So because of all these processes, because of Abhichara, Abhishapa, somebody has produced this Kratya or Rakshagana, and that has resulted into Janpadodhamsa. That is epidemic. And now this become Vishwadhamsa. Vishwadhamsa. Not only Janpadodhamsa. Actually this word is not in classics. This word I have coined. That because it is now no more epidemic, whole world is involved. So it is not Janpadodhvans. It is not limited to Janpad only. Now whole world is involved. So Vishwadhvansa. Now this whole process, just for your fun, I have put in 2 shlokas. Those are familiar with Bhagavad Gita can understand this better. That yada yada is here, usually in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says something. Here Lord Krishna does not say anything. Here Prakriti, Mother Nature says something. What does she say? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bhutale abhyutanam adharmasya tada joran srajamyaham. पर्यावरण शुद्धि अर्थम समहर्तुम च मदम नृणाम कोविद प्रवर्तीन रोगान प्रकरोमि युगे युगे. The meaning is, whenever there is decay of natural laws or ethical values on the earth, and there is rise of unrighteousness, then I give origin to diseases to clean the environment and to destroy the ego of humans. I produce the COVID-like diseases in every epoch. Now, how to diagnose the pandemics or such situations? In our classics, if we see carefully, to diagnose this, there are two ways they have described. One, we can say extra clinical. Those may look little like mysticism, but they are logical. First extra clinical diagnostic tool is malefic astrological situations. This is described in our classics. And then we can see some inauspicious signs, omens in our surrounding. Maybe in our own bed, maybe in our seats, in our vehicles, in precious stones which we keep on our body, or in our other household equipments. Now, our minds of modern human beings are so overwhelmed with science that for us these type of things ridiculous, illogical, unscientific, but they are scientific. In support of these things, I just give you, there are several examples, but we do not have that much time, but I can give you one example. Some years back we had tsunami in our region, and our islands, Andaman Nicobar, they have some tribes. When tsunami was over, when our officials reached there, they expected that these tribes may not be living there more. But when they reached there, they found that all tribes were alive. They surprised, they asked them that how could you survive? They told that we knew this, that it will happen. Our officials asked them that how? And then they told that we can smell the wind. We can feel the changes in the waves of ocean. So 3 days before of tsunami, we have realized that something bad will happen. So we changed this place, reached to the heights, and we could save ourselves. So these sciences which we usually say occult sciences, they are not just occult sciences, they are sciences. And if we are really Ayurvedic persons, we have to explore them. And this is true. In the same chapter which I have quoted here, Janpadodvansni Adhyaya, the chapter itself begins that teacher asked his students that I feel some changes in the atmosphere, and it indicates that some epidemics will happen now. So now you have to collect some medicines, food items, so that during epidemics you can use them. So that means those rishis have this capacity that time to recognize the changes in the environment. And because now we are dependent on these technologies, we have lost our senses. But if we are really Ayurvedic persons, we try to explore these possibilities again. Again, one funny thing I have found in the classics, and I tried to correlate this here. This may be funny for you, but I always say that all Vedic literatures have several meanings. If you decode them, then you can find several secrets in them. We have very famous shloka in Charak Samhita Nidanistan chapter 8 that Pratishaya atho kasa samjayate kshaya, and kshaya rogasya hetutve shoshasya api upajayate. This is the sequence of gradual progression of mild to moderate and severe diseases. That pratishaya, which is common cold, can be transformed into kasa, cough, then it can convert into kshaya, emaciation, and then it can cause shosha, the rajakshma, tuberculosis. Now this shloka I have interpreted in modern context. That first coronavirus, which was quite early, maybe in 1968, that time it was causing only common cold. Later on, up to 2003, the corona could remain limited up to only upper respiratory symptoms, dry cough, common cold, etc. 2003, more serious, SARS. And now, in 2019, this COVID. So if we would have taken care at that time in Ayurvedic ways, of course in allopathic ways, in conventional medicine, they have done lot. Rather we can say they only have done. But if we would have applied our Ayurvedic intelligence at that time, we would not have reached to this moment, this phase, sorry. Another year I tell you one more story. That still we have not lost something. Still we have something. Mr. John was a fisherman. One day he woke up very early. He thought, why not I use this time to go and find some fishes in the pond. So near the village there was a big pond. He went there. The night was very dark. He sat on the bank of pond and put his fishing tool in the water and expected that some fish will be caught. After long waiting, he felt some tension on his stick. He thought, oh, lucky I am. Some big fish is caught. As he pulled the stick, he was very disappointed because it was not fish but it was a bag. It was dark night, he could not see what is there in the bag. When he opened it, he just touched the things inside, felt them, and he thought that they are stones. So because of annoyment and the aggression, he started throwing those stones back in the pond. There was last stone in his hand. He was just to throw it. And then sun rise. And the rays of sun, when fall on the stone, it was not stone, it was diamond. John thought that, oh, at least I could save one stone because I got the light now. So, we have not lost anything. Still we have light. Some diamonds are still in our hand. And with that we can explore better possibilities now. If we really apply our Ayurvedic intelligence. So now I explore other chapters also of classics, that what will be the form of this disease. This is epidemic, but individually in one more thing remain, sorry I forget, that clinically, according to Sushruta Samhita, these may be the symptoms in such illnesses: cough, breathlessness, vomiting, cold, headache and fever. And you see in corona these features. Now, from Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita I got some references, you all know them, so I do not repeat them here. But on this basis, if we have to give any nomenclature, though personally I am not interested in giving name to the disease, and Charak Samhita also says that one should not be very much interested in giving a name to the disease, but still people are interested to have name. So if we have to give some name to this disease, conventional medicine can say COVID-19, but we Ayurvedic people can say Agantoja, Vat Kapol Bana, Sannipatik Visham Jwara. Because in this category you will find all the qualities of this COVID-19. Now, what are the measures to get rid of this? In Ayurveda we say the measures are only Devyapashraya. See here, in Charak Samhita also they have mentioned that Devyapashrayam tatra sarvam osdhyam osdham ishyate. Their only medicine is Devyapashraya. And in Devyapashraya, in community or individually, what we can do. So in Sushruta Samhita they say Sthana Parityaga. If possible, leave the place. I heard that king of Thailand, when Corona came in Thailand, he fled to Germany. And when it came to Germany, he came back again to Thailand. So he's king, he can do. We cannot do. So what we have to do, that we cannot change the sthan, but we can change the sthan. How? Change the quality of the sthan. And how it will happen? Through Shanti Karana. We should not feel ashamed talking about these things. These are the measures. And if Shanti part can happen in White House, why not in Indian institutes? Why we feel ashamed of ourselves that, oh, it is unscientific. What is unscientific? Try these things. We are doing this, sir. We are performing Havana every day here. We are having chanting of mantras here in our institute, and we are also having Vishnu Sahasranam part every afternoon, which is also recommended in Charak Samhita. Next is Prayashchita. We should realize that we have committed wrong things, individually or in community. Now we can take a vow that now, from next day, we should not do this. Mangala means all auspicious activities, japa, chanting of mantras, homa, fire rituals, upahara, offerings, ijja. Ijja has several meanings, but I have taken here worships. Here, according to one's belief, one can perform his rituals or his worships. Suppose if somebody is Christian, he may not believe in Vedic rituals, he can go in church, he can go for prayers, that is his ijja. If he is a Muslim, he can perform his namaz, his prayer, that is his ijja. Or if somebody has some similar things known effective, like Shanti Karana, he can do that. Anjali. Anjali is this. to pay respect to everybody. What will it do? In Charak Samhita, they have mentioned Prathamo Bhashi Shat. That means when you meet somebody, you should greet somebody first, not to expect that if he will greet, I will greet. What will happen? It will reduce your ego. It will promote your sattva. And if your sattva is promoted, then it will favor your immunity through psycho-neuro-immune axis. Namaskar, it is same thing. Greeting by joining the hand. Now in present context, people are taking it the other way. That when you meet somebody, don't shake hands, just join your hand. But that is also good, but its original meaning is to pay respect to others. Tapa, austerity. It is also very good to learn this. That how with minimum measures we can survive. That is also tapa. With minimum requirements, how we can feel comfortable. Niyama, like Shoch. First thing in Niyama is Shoch. Hygiene. Santosh, to feel satisfied. If I am not getting pizza, it's okay. If I am not getting burger, it's okay. I am getting at least dal, rice, chapati every day. Enough. Dayadan. This is again very important. Altruism. And what altruism do? If you want to see, find this link. And in this link, you will find that it promotes, if you have compassion, it promotes your immunity. Then Diksha, it is devotion. And then in last two sentences, that we have to follow our devatas, enlightened persons, our gurus, and we have to pay respect to them. This is all measures are not just formality, but they promote our sattva quality. Nowadays, see, we have very inappropriate trend that whenever something happens, we try to analyze that situation according to science or conventional thinking. That is not appropriate way. If we have to find solution in Ayurveda, then we have to think according to Ayurveda. Because conventional thinking is different, Ayurvedic thinking is different, homeopathic thinking is different. I give you one example to understand this, that in conventional medicine, hay fever, asthma, urticaria, eczema, they all basically have allergy as common factor. And if you give any anti-allergic treatment, it will help in all four. But it will not be same in Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, for asthma, that is swas, if we use swas kuthar rasa, it will not help in urticaria. It will not help in eczema. Similarly, in eczema, if we use manjishtadi kwath, that will not help in asthma. So, Ayurvedic approach is totally different. And according to that, we have to understand this. In Ayurveda, yes, our approach is holistic in Ayurveda and designed to have samya. This is wonderful word in Ayurveda. Samya, equilibrium, harmony at every level. And for us human beings, this samya we have to establish at two levels. Internal samya, equilibrium in our own body components, and outer samya, external, in our immediate surrounding, our friend circle, our family, our society, our country, and then whole nation, whole world, and then whole universe. This is our responsibility. because we are human beings, and human beings are best creature of the universe, and therefore this is our responsibility to maintain this harmony and equilibrium. And how to do this? Now comes individual care. Anagat Badha Pratiseda, which is known as prevention. In this, Ayurveda recommends Swasth Vratta. From morning till night, what you have to do, what you have not to do. People may be interested that in present context, how it can be useful. Of course, there are two measures described in Ayurveda in morning routine, Nashya and Gandusha. If you do this regularly, it will form a thin film on our mucosa, and that will prevent entry of any pathogen inside. Not only pathogen, even allergens cannot enter inside. And with these measures, we have found results. It is not just theory. We have seen results, not only in India, in European countries, that these simple measures can prevent serious illnesses. Then Sadvrat, that is very important. Rasayana. Now people talk very much about Rasayana. Chavanprash, Aswagandha. Here again remember, without this, Sadvrata, Rasayana cannot be effective. It is clearly mentioned in Charak Samhita. हिंदी में कहावत है, there is one dictum in Hindi, मीठा मीठा गप, कड़वा कड़वा थू. Whatever we like, that we accept. What we do not like, that we reject. In this way we cannot work. In Charak Samhita, they have clearly mentioned in the chapter of Rasayana that if you want to have optimum effect of these Rasayanas, you have to follow this. Sadvrat, Sadachar, Achara Rasayana. And in that Achara Rasayana, first and foremost thing is Ahimsa. And then, remember, Ayurveda is not just prescribing some medicines. Dev Vyapashraya, Yukti Vyapashraya and Sattva-Vyaya. These three components are necessary. So, here, just to make it more practical, if there is mild case, what you can start with? People may be interested in that. To give any Jwaragnakwat, whatever you have. If you do not have any fixed compound, so whatever material which is Jwaragna you have, make decoction of it. Then Yavagus. In the food, you have to prefer Yavagus. Shrat Jala, boiled water to drink. And that you can also make like this, if you want some aromatic things. Then, inhalation of Yavani steam. Yavani means ajwain. If there is little more moderate type case, then Jwaragnakwat, Yavagu, boiled water, they will be there. Inhalation of ajwain will also be there. But you can add Sudarshan Churna and Trabhuvan Kirti Rasa with this. And that also be found in similar conditions. Corona came first time here, but in similar conditions we found this effective. Our one students also have done thesis on this. Then in serious type of illness, where even conventional medicine feel breathless, similar things, Jwaragnakwat, Yavagu, boiled water, Trabhuvan Kirti Rasa, Sudarshan Churna. But here I will recommend Kasturi Bhairava Rasa. Unfortunately, Kasturi is banned. So this product may not be in the market, but maybe Kasturi Bhairava Rasa without Kasturi can be available. That can also be tried. And if it is not there, then another option. It is also wonderful drug, Jaimangal Rasa. These are recommendations on my own experiences. Now, I told one thing here, Sattvavjaya. Sattvavjaya means to prevent your mind from bad thoughts. And this is very necessary. In these serious type of illnesses, people do not die of disease mostly. They die because of fear factor. Even in other serious illnesses like renal failure, we are dealing with renal failure since 30 years. Cirrhosis of liver. People do not die because of the disease, but more because of the fear. What fear? Fear of death. Death of some family members. And most important, insecurity about job, etc. And also crimes. Now, 2 days back, our Prime Minister has announced one wonderful thing. He has declared one economical package. It is a wonderful thing. Don't take it politically. There may be so many criticisms. But for me, it is also a psychotherapy. It may have its economical influences, wonderful. But it was a kind of psychotherapy given by him. And I admired his leadership for 2-3 incidences during this whole pandemic. One was blowing the shankha, ringing the bells, then lighting the lamps, and 2 days back declaring this economical package. These all are psychotherapies to boost your mental strength, and this is necessary to promote the immunity. Now what next? What do we learn from this difficult phase? How we can get advantage of this difficult phase? So, we can promote Ayurvedic principles particularly related to Swasthvrat and Sadvrat. We ourselves learned that how we can survive with minimum resources, how we can protect our nature if we do not misuse the facilities. And from this, even what we are doing today for our survival, if we continue this 50%, nature will be very happy. Then, promotion of holistic approach, I will little bit more elaborate this. Promotion of Ayurvedic Rasayanas, this is already in the market. People are buying Chyawanprash. But remember, without this, it will not work better. Then, this is also mentioned in Charak Samhita, that Rasayanas will be helpful if your body is clean. And for that, we have to perform periodic Shodhana. Our all faculties nearly have done it during this period. What about vaccine? If it comes, wonderful. But I have doubts about it, that it will work. Reasons? That we found that the persons, those are patients, those are treated, and those survived of corona or COVID, according to theory, they must have developed antibodies. But they are reinfected. That means the antibodies produced by this virus are not working. And theory of vaccine works on the same principle. So I have doubt. If it works, wonderful. I will be very happy. But it may not work. And therefore, as I mentioned earlier, that if we promote Ayurveda in this way, with this structure, then probably we can have some better solutions. Now, as I mentioned that I have to elaborate this more. What is holism? Holism is core theme of Ayurveda and Indian philosophies. Usually when we talk holism or holistic approach, usually people talk about soul, mind and body. Ayurvedic holism is not limited only to these three. Ayurvedic holism extends up to universe. And how to understand this, that as body, mind and spirit in individual living beings are inseparable components, so all living beings are interrelated. Composing life in general is an invisible phenomenon. Consequently, if a small fraction of existence is perturbed, the rest of the existence will also suffer. If our leg is aching, our heart cannot be happy. So as our organs are not separable, they are inseparable, they are linked with each other. Similarly, all the entities, and I believe that not only living beings, even non-living entities are also interrelated with some subtle links which we cannot perceive through our usual senses. If you have more enlightened senses, then you can perceive it. In Yajurveda, there is one mantra. I just give the translation of it. That those who see all beings as themselves do not feel infatuation or anguish, for they experience oneness with all these beings. This theory we can also say as Ekatmvar, that one soul is in every living being. There is one Chetana principle is there which is common in every living being. This is just reflection that we feel that everybody has different soul. But soul is one in which is common in every living being. Now one more thing I want to mention here in this context of this pandemic, that we always know the Newton's third law of motion, that every action has its equal and opposite reaction. This is law of motion. But in our Vedic knowledge system, the law of action or law of karma is different. And that is that every action has its similar reaction. Not opposite, similar reaction. To understand it in simple words, metaphorically, that fruits are always according to their seeds. If you love somebody, you will get love. If you hate somebody, you will hatred. If you will kill somebody, you will get killing. This is simple law of action, not law of motion. And therefore, to simplify this, in our knowledge system, that how to know, that what to do, what not, very simple words, wonderful things is told. That Atmana Pratikulani Pareshamna Samachare. The behavior of others, which one does not like to be affected of, one should not apply on others. If you do not like somebody's behavior towards you, that this person should not do this to me, you should not do same to him. Therefore, if we want to live, we should let others live. If we create unrest among the other living beings, that will return to us. If animals are killed, nature creates the means of killing off the killers, the human beings. Advents of mad cow disease, swine flu, bird flu, and now this COVID-19 are not mere coincidence. These are all results of this law of nature. And if you want to understand this more scientifically, please read Pain Wave Theory of Einstein. This is not just philosophy, it is science. That if you create pain, that will create so strong waves that can be disastrous. And from the same principle, the principle of Ahimsa is originated. Now, as I told you in the beginning, that people do not die because of the disease, but because of the fear. So what we need more? Fearlessness. So at the end of my speech, here I chant two mantras from Atharvaveda. Om abhyam nakaratyantriksham abhyam dhyava prithvi ubhe me abhyam pasyad bhayam purastad uttarad adarad bhayam no astu. Om abhyam mitrad bhayam amitrad bhayam jnatad bhayam parokshat abhyam naktam abhyam divana sarva asha mam mitram bhavantu. In simple English translation, we can say that we may have fearlessness from all the directions. We may have fearlessness from our friends as well as from our enemies, from known, from unknown, from night, from day, and let all the entities around us be friendly to us. Now, probably we have some questions. Yeah, our friend Naveen ji have asked that, can you please comment on reported successful treatment of 203 patients of COVID-19 using Ayurveda in Gujarat? Naveen ji, please contact the persons those are treating. I do not have any information about this. Any other question?
No, sir, but we would like to thank you for enlightening all of us. And I thank all the viewers who joined today with us, and we thank all of you from JS Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, and we are very much enlightened by your speech today, sir. If anybody has any questions, so
You may think and you can write me later on also.
okay, thank you very much, sir.
One question.
One question is there.
Please, sir, elaborate the reliability of investigation of COVID-19 in present context. Nilofer Sheikh Mansoori.
Investigations.
Yes.
Reliability of investigations.
See, I always say one thing. Everybody or everything is reliable till proved otherwise.
Subject to verification.
બીજો છે message.
One more question. What can be the measures mentioned in Ayurveda to break the chain of spreading of contamination of such Vishwabdans?
Yeah, this is what I have mentioned. Actually, this is whole theme, that how you can break the chain. The whole thing started from adharma. So, again, Ayurveda does not that you have to shift immediately to dharma. You have to go gradually. So, at least 10% periodically you reduce practicing adharma. I already mentioned that the ways we are living today, if we continue these ways, even 50%, nature will be very happy. We will not have any epidemic or pandemic with 50% adaptation. I guarantee that. My inner voice says that if we practice natural ways, even 50%, nature will be happy.
सर एक क्वेश्चन जनरल पब्लिक की ओर से मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपको, अभी लोग है ना वो इंस्टेंट दवाई मांगते हैं, तो क्या आप सजेस्ट कर सकते हो एलोपैथी में? वो आपने बताया वो सब तो सही है, फिर भी
मैं भाई इंस्टेंट कॉफी भी पसंद नहीं करता हूँ.
थैंक यू.
I don't like even instant coffee.
क्योंकि
I
बहुत सारे
see.
लोग
I do not like even instant drink. I took fresh leaves and put them in boiled water. This is also very good remedy. Tell them, if they take, whenever feel they thirsty during this season, take this every time. Nothing will happen.
महामृत्युंजय मंत्र.
Yes, this is all we have told. Chant Mahamrityunjay mantra. Chant Vishnu Sahasranam. Otherwise, Nimesh bhai, I observed that even if you will say that do this, take this, For 1 week people will take, and then all the things will be remain lying on the tables.
One more question from Chirag Vyas, that what should we take as prophylactic and for how long?
Whole life. Rasayanas and achar rasayanas. In simple ways, do not harm knowingly to anybody. It will include everything. Unknowingly anything can happen, but don't do it knowingly.
One question from Jay Upadhyay, can Samhita Pathan help us Satvavjay or Daivyapasya Chikitsa?
By reading cooking books cannot satisfy your hunger. So reading simply the text is not enough. This what happened in our country. We have Ramayana, we have Mahabharata, we have Bhagavad Gita. We have put them wrapped in red cloth and put in our worship place, and every day we put some incenses, and this is over. We never opened them. So reading Sahitas or anything will not going to be help. You have to follow their instructions.
Sir, one more thing if you allow. Sir, what you said in the last of the lecture, that we have to do, sir, all kind of ahinsas as well as some sympathy to other animals also, like people are not doing. So, sir, is there any suggestion from your side to go for vegan or non-veg, avoiding non-vegetarian things and going for the vegetarian things, sir? From your side, sir, your perspective.
My dear friend, I have told you, if you can eat meat without harming the animal, you can eat it. I told you that don't harm anybody.
Yeah.
So if you can get meat without harming, okay, wonderful, do it.
Thank you.
Vegan is not pro-Ayurvedic concept. In Ayurveda, milk and ghee are considered best rasayanas. So that you have to consume. Kheer ghat abhyaso, rasayana na. So regular consumption of ghee and cow's milk is best among rasayanas. And remember, ojas. Everybody wants ojas. I should have ojas. There is only one material in the world which has similarities according to properties to ojas, is cow's milk.
One question from Khushbu Vyas, that is it okay to collect fresh medicinal leaves in this environment of Janpadadvans?
Actually, according to classics, you should not collect them now. You should collect them before. But there are some medicines, those are usually unaffected with the environment because they are cleaning the environment itself. You can collect them today also. Maybe little less effective.
Yes. One more question.
कृष्ण किशोर कुमार जी का एक क्वेश्चन है, रोल ऑफ सहज व्याधि क्षमत्व vis-a-vis रसायन द्रव्यास इन दिस पैंडेमिक.
I already mentioned, rasayanas are good. But if you want to have rasayanas effect that just I start Chyawanprash today and I will get immunity tomorrow, it is not possible. You have to consume every time it. And again I mentioned that without achar rasayana will not have its optimum effect. So as I prayed for fearlessness, let all of us be fearless because we are Amrit Putra. If we are Amrit Putra, then we will not die. Certainly, it is guaranteed by our rishis that we will not die. So why to have fear? So to be fearless, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak about this, my views about this pandemic situation.